Hey, Rigsby here, and in today's episode, I'm with my buddy Justin Yule, and we're sitting down mapping out some of the details of our upcoming AI workshop for online coaches, and thought we might let you come behind the curtain with us to see what's going to be happening. So, let's get to it.
Welcome to the Fitness Business School podcast, the show for fitness business owners who want to grow their income, increase their impact, and improve their lifestyle. Be sure to listen till the end of this episode because we have a brand new special offer exclusive for listeners. So stay tuned.
Welcome, Justin. Good to have you here. It's always fun to have you here in the home office and spending some time together, brainstorming some fun stuff we're going to be doing. So we've got the workshop coming up here in early December. Frankly, you masterminded this idea. So unpack a little bit of it for us.
Yeah, so I've really gotten into the AI thing in the last year or so, this year really. And I love copywriting and marketing and aspect of the business. Truth be told, I probably prefer that aspect more than the actual business itself. As Dan Kennedy would say, you're not a personal trainer, you're a marketer, a personal trainer. So I've really been looking at it as a tool and saying, how can I use this to really help me not only with the gym business, which we can get into how it can be very helpful there, but as my wife Janelle has an online coaching business, and that has been something we've been pursuing over the last couple of years, and it's done really well. So, truth be told, for us, it's part of our long-term vision to have that flexibility. And looking at our life ahead the next couple of years, it really dawned on me that we've got to get, my role is I've got to get really good at the marketing side into a kind of a different realm than I'm used to. Definitely a lot more cold traffic, a lot more broader traffic. Yes, obviously with an online business, and I want to make sure people understand this, and we'll talk online here for a second, is online people are real humans in the real world. Right? And Janelle built her online coaching business locally. She built it off of the back end of our gym and off of our local contacts and local connections. But as we expand further, it's a little bit different than your local gym, where we got to get to a broader and broader audience. And with that being said, the marketing aspect and getting in front of more people and getting more content out there and being a little bit more visible is something that's really important. And to be truth be told, that's not an area that I have been either super strong with or even really super necessary with my local business, if that makes sense. Because you can join a BNI, you can join a Chamber of Commerce, you can do referrals. It's just different in the offline world. And in the online world, trying to expand out, I've got to get back to my passion for copywriting and marketing and ad strategy. And that's where I first started getting into the AI and saying, how can this be a tool that can help me, multiply me, being involved in not only the gym business, helping with Janelle's coaching business, the other projects that you and I have, Nutrition OS and some other things. Time is a huge factor for me. And without getting into hiring outside resources for social media or for Facebook advertising or even for content development, which, by the way, I have tried. And if anybody who's tried it, they know it can get pretty expensive. And the results are less than thrilling most of the time. Most of the agencies out there, they just can't do what a business of our size would need. They're more geared towards much larger businesses. So it's okay, how can I leverage AI as a tool to two things? Really, one was reinvigorate my passion for copywriting and marketing and have some fun with it. And two, really leverage my time. And I mentioned before we were recording, just in conversation, that I've gotten it down to the point where I can create a small book, lead magnet, all the marketing for it, social media posts, Facebook ads, build all the content for the funnel and the follow-up. I can do all that inside of a workday. And that's huge. And to be honest with you, it's fun. Right, so it's reinvigorated that piece.
So, there were a couple things that you threw out there that I want to dive into a little bit. Like, one was the reference to the old Dan Kennedy line, and both you and I have been heavily influenced by Dan. And hey, you're not the personal trainer, you're the marketer of personal training or whatever else. And frankly, most of these small business owners, not all, but most of the small business owners that we work with, they get stuck wearing both hats, right? Like they have to be both of those people, but usually the one that got them excited, the one that pulled them into this business, that really created that magnetic attraction to them was being the trainer, the coach, the being in the gym, helping people. That's what they were excited about. That's what they were passionate about. And so they run up against these challenges. Either, okay, I have to entirely outsource all of this, which, as you mentioned, can be pretty expensive. And a lot of the time you're stuck dealing with agencies that don't have a lot of experience with these types of small businesses. And so they're not able to adapt to this. Now, we work with a couple of people that I think do a pretty good job adapting to this, but I would say they're the exception rather than the rule.
100%.
And then, or you have to manually piece all this together. Or you settle for just not having success with it. So what excited me about the AI stuff, because I will be the first to say I dabble with stuff. Heck, I've been very forthright in saying that it's been my homework helper when I've been trying to keep up with some of the middle school homework that seems to get ahead of me, helping Alex, and I can go and help him study and answer questions and leveraging it that way. I see it as a tool, but I see it almost like hiring a part-time employee. Like we go to Fiverr all the time to hire help. We go to Upwork all the time to hire help. And it's, if I want to be a small business owner, maybe I do want the flexibility to be a solopreneur and still make a pretty good living and have some autonomy with my schedule. If I want to have a business that just is like me and a VA or something like that, at least by my way of thinking, utilizing things like AI allow you to essentially create your own kind of mini marketing team that it's built on technology rather than human labor.
Yeah, 100%. It really is a team of people that you can get, because if you go back to the agency side of things, and I do use someone that we work with, and he's phenomenal at the tech ad stuff and going in and doing the analysis, and I don't like any of that stuff. But you still need a copywriter. You still need a design person, because you can write great ads, but you still have to design. You have to design, right? So there's all these different pieces to it that it can be a bit confusing. And again, it's when you're a solopreneur, it's where do you put your focus? I think about the coaches who are coaching all day long. I just end up not doing it, as you said, right? They don't have the time. So this is a way to, in my mind, to leverage it. Now, that being said, I'm the kind of person who, A, fortunate enough to have the time, and B, I like to tinker and play and figure out how to use the AI to my advantage. I don't think a lot of people necessarily want to do that.
Right.
And that's what the workshop is really about, right? It's take what I have learned and how I leverage it, and let me show you how to not have to go through that learning curve. And here's what you need to do to build this out and create this. And just so we're clear, it's not just, people think AI, they think ChatGPT. Right now, a lot of things plug into ChatGPT, but there's a lot of different softwares out there that can help you in a lot of different ways to leverage the technology of AI for, I say, a fitness business, but really any small business.
And I think that for a lot of the people that I spend time with in our coaching world, they're curious about it, but it like many things, is overwhelming because it's like this endless rabbit hole of, hey, I can use this and this, and then go buy this thing that gives you a 1,001 prompts,
right?
And go do that, and all these different plugins, whether it's a Google plugin or whether it's some sort of thing that bolted onto the front of it. There are all sorts of different things that have been woven into this AI landscape to potentially, individually, they will promise to be solutions, but in reality, they just muddy the waters for somebody just trying to be introduced to it. So, yeah, I thought, okay, when you proposed the idea of this type of workshop, I thought this is the type of thing I would probably want to participate in, because it allows me to utilize a tool effectively I know would be valuable. And I'm somebody who is a relentless simplifier, and if I have a proven path to follow that I can go use something, then I'm going to go use it. But if I've got to go sort through the 50 different paths I could take and not have a clue where to start, then you know what, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's funny. I look back to the beginning when I first started playing with just ChatGPT. I didn't like it. It's because I didn't know how to use it. It felt very robotic to me. The stuff it would write if I was looking for some copy, even like a newsletter to send out to my clients to see if it would make my life easier. It didn't sound good. It was obviously written by AI, and I walked away from it for a little bit, and then I just decided to go back and just tinker with it, and took some courses and really just started literally having conversations with it and learning how to use it. And that was the fun piece, where now I've got it down, and how can I, to what I mentioned earlier, if I'm going to create something for Janelle or even for myself, how can I have it so it sounds like it's coming from me? It feels like it's coming from me. It's got my style, my tone, my personality into it, and leverage it that way and make it more fun. So I can see if anybody's ever just like opened up ChatGPT and was like, I don't get it. Or like you mentioned, you end up down the rabbit hole and 3 hours have gone by and you've done nothing, which I think we've all done with different softwares. So yeah, that's definitely an important piece to it. And I think the workshop will clarify a lot of that. And we talked about this, when we said we were going to do this workshop. This wasn't going to be another seminar. It wasn't going to be lecture. It was going to be, people are going to walk out of this done. Like, this stuff is done, built, right? So it's really a look over the shoulder, follow along. So everybody will be on their laptops and doing this. It's gonna be virtual, via Zoom. But everybody's going to be doing the work through the process, step by step, over the course of the 2 days. And when they walk away, they're going to have a lot done. Probably more done than they would if they had taken a month or 2 or 3, or maybe more. They're going to walk away with.
Yeah, and I think that's exciting. I think that we've all been to events, or whether it's online or offline, we've been to events, we got excited, we took a lot of notes, and then we went back home and started doing exactly what we did before.
Yeah.
So having something that, yields an actual outcome where you're actually producing something tangible that benefits you, I think is really exciting. And then also understanding, so the way that my mind works, and I'm not going to say that, I think that I have, like everybody, has my own viewpoint on this stuff. I see this tool very much the same way I would see like our automatic member software or something like that. It's almost like this employee that I'm paying to play a role in the business, right? To create some leverage in the business. And as with any employee, you have to train them to be successful.
Yes.
You have to set them up to be successful. And people that don't understand software, if it's like an email software or something like that, they probably never set it up to be successful. They never set up their automations. They never built things out to accomplish what they wanted. And when it didn't yield what they wanted, you could trace it back to that. Here, they get to essentially train their employee in a couple days.
Yeah. And
it can go out there and work for them and be an ambassador for their business and play the role you need it to play. And I'm a fan of the whole who, not how thing. And for some of us, maybe we can't just pay who after who forever. So we can find ways to leverage things. We can use technology to fill the role of a part-time or full-time who, and it sits in that seat in our business and allows us to stay lean, to be a solopreneur, or maybe a really small business with a part-time assistant or something like that, but still have the production and the reach of a bigger business. I think that's a really, again, it's my way of looking at it, but that's the way that I see technology in my business. And so that's one of the things that I think is cool. I'm like, man, I can walk out of here and I've got my own kind of customized approach to this that has my voice. It has my, it's prepared to execute on the things that I want executed, which for me would be worth the price of admission, not just financially, but from a time standpoint, which for me, that's the biggest thing is if I'm going to allocate 2 days to something, what do I get in return? And that'd be worth probably allocating 2 weeks to train that kind of employee that could help me that much longer.
Yeah, because you bring up a great point, because it's not just going to be what we have the pros in the 2 days build, but you can duplicate this over and over and over.
Yeah, I think that's hugely powerful because let's face it, there's some truths about running an online coaching business that I think a lot of people gloss over when they're selling you on being an online coach. Mm-hmm. Hey, it's easy. It's this lifestyle business that everybody has their laptop on their in their beach chair, sipping a pina colada or something. You know what? You still have to generate leads. You still have to convert leads to clients. You still have to fulfill on the promises that you're making. So you're going to have to do this stuff. You're going to continually have to market, because even if you get clients, some people are going to leave. You're going to have to continue to replace clients. So if you don't build a system to do this, you can't have a sustainable business. If you don't have this marketing engine as part of what you do, this is not a long-term business for you. Sure, you could go get a couple clients and make a little bit of extra money to pay for a vacation or for Christmas or something. Yeah. But if you want to build a long-term business, you need a marketing engine. So hopefully we've at least dug in and showed how this can give you the foundation of a really solid marketing engine in a matter of a couple days, delivered through Zoom. And
what's really cool, obviously we're gonna focus a lot on that, what you talked about, the lead generation, the marketing, the getting of the clients, right? Because that's a big piece. But you can also leverage AI for the middle and the back end. You can train it to help you create programs, nutrition, training, or otherwise. You can train it for the back end things, and we talk about back ends of businesses. It's not just what we're talking about here. We're putting a lot of emphasis on the attraction and conversion side of it, but let's face it, I think that's where most people need the most help.
We dug into it. I'm thrilled we got to unpack a little bit of this, because I know we've definitely in our circles we've had a lot of curiosity about the workshop, so it's fun to be able to talk through it instead of only be able to do it in individual conversations or something like that. Something we can share, not only what somebody's going to get, but the why behind it.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if you're listening to this episode and you're listening to it in a timely enough fashion that you can join us, that you can grab the link here that we'll have on our podcast page and notes. And you can learn about all the details and join us in our AI workshop for online coaches. So until next time, see you soon. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Fitness Business School. Before you go, I have a quick announcement. One of the things that we've been doing with our current clients is taking them through this ideal business diagnostic. And really what it is this checklist that allows you to pinpoint exactly what your business needs next so you can keep improving, keep growing, and build a business that you love to own. One that pays you well, one that allows you to have the impact you want to have, and one that allows you to have a lifestyle that you truly enjoy. In this diagnostic, we walk through everything and we do an evaluation and can instantly pinpoint what you need to do next to build that business that you want. I'm going to extend this opportunity to get on with either me or my team and take you through this evaluation and fix your business's most vital needs fast. So if we take you through this, you're going to be able to make those vital changes that you need to finally have what I call your ideal business. If you'd be interested in going through this entirely free, risk-free diagnostic with us and learn what you already have in place, what you're doing well, and where your greatest opportunities for rapid improvement are, just shoot me an email with diagnostic in the subject line to pat@patrigsby.com. Again, an email to pat@patrigsby.com with diagnostic in the subject line will get you scheduled and take you through this evaluation to help you build the business you want.